Welcome back to Evening Kickoff. We're your hosts, Isaac and Ben, and finally, it's Super Bowl week. Can't believe it's already here, and we're here to talk about the matchup between the Patriots and the Seahawks for the fight for Super Bowl 60. Super Bowl is this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it favors the Seahawks, who are 14-3, and the New England Patriots, who are 14-3. Both teams have had great seasons so far, in my opinion, and I would love to see both these teams come out swinging in a defensive but also offensive matchup.
I think we definitely have the two top teams in the NFL, but as we went into the AFC and NFC championship weekends, we can pretty much easily see first place in the NFL, the Seahawks. While we look at the Rams, Broncos, and Patriots, all seeming to be a lot closer in strength as teams. So going into the Super Bowl, we can see predicted first and second place, the Seahawks, then the Patriots.
And obviously the Patriots got here beating the Broncos in that snow game last weekend, and 2 weekends ago, my bad. And the Seahawks played the Rams and beat the Rams in Lumen Field in Seattle. Mike McDaniel, the coach for Seattle, is a very defensive mastermind, and he's quite literally transformed Seattle back into the Legion of Boom, or as so-called the Mob. What would you like to see from the defensive side for Seattle and how they can stop Drake May and his rushing attempts?
I think all they really need to do is keep doing what they're doing right now, because they are just handling teams so easily. Just make them look stupid on their own field, and they just need to keep playing like this. I think that they've honestly been holding back some strengths these past couple games, just giving just enough to win. I think the Super Bowl is their time to shine. Just release the whole defensive strength and blow the Patriots out of the water. I think this defense will do very good against the Patriots offense, even though it is probably the second best or best offense in the league.
And just like you said, this defense has particularly shut down all these other strong offenses, and we don't really see that often in playoff games. Obviously, you had that 41-6 victory over the Niners, and then that game against the Rams 2 weekends ago. And obviously, both of those games were very, very close. Well, one of them was close. One of them was a blowout, but one of them was close, and a good effort from the Rams on the other side. Quarterbacks, as we know, Drake May, the young superstar, and then you got Sam Darnold, the veteran who's been traded quite a bit in his career, the third overall pick in the 2018 draft class with Josh Allen, Lamar. He is the first one in that draft class to make it to the Super Bowl. How would you like to see him perform against this tough D-line for the Patriots?
I think, Sam Darnold's definitely progressed a lot during the season. Obviously, the Vikings last season, he was their starting quarterback. Transferring over to the Seahawks, he has transformed this losing team last year to a winning team this year, and I think with the superstars around him, he can definitely operate this offense. And even though he's not in the race for the MVP, that doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback. He is amazing. He's on fire, and he can take this team to a Super Bowl victory.
And as we saw 2 weekends ago, he didn't hardly turn the ball over at all, if at all, against the Rams, and hopefully he'll be able to do that against Drake May and the Patriots this weekend. Running backs for this game, you got Kenneth Walker III, a very strong running back for Seattle on one side, and then you got Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson on the other side. Obviously, Jack Charbonnet tore his ACL against the 49ers, and that was a heartbreaking loss for Seattle, but they do move on, and they have continued to impress everyone so far. How would you like to see Kenneth Walker? What would you say Kenneth Walker's impact to this game is?
I think, the Seahawks offense is well-rounded with good receivers, and Kenneth Walker as the running back it's a really good offense. And I think losing Charbonnet was a big hurt, but Kenneth Walker is definitely carries this running game with their backup running back right alongside him. I think he just needs to be explosive and try to put on a good game and compare up to the last time the Seahawks made it to the Super Bowl, 2015, Marshawn Lynch, the beast mode. If he can bring a game like that, then he can compare to him, and that will be really special.
And I would say you got similar teams in case of Seattle. You got the strong running back, you got some receivers, and then you got a very strong defense, and you got your star quarterback. So this is kind of what we saw the last time. Hopefully they don't throw it on the 1 yard line, but as we know, that's up to the coaches, not us. All right, now we move to key matchups and stuff and things like that. We got offensive strategies, defensive schemes, and I'm going to hand it over to Ben.
So yeah, for offensive strategies, we have first up the Seahawks. Their receiver room is very hyped, and they have star Jackson Smith-Njigba, who has been their number 1 receiver, and then Cooper Kupp right alongside him. I think this is the difference between the Patriots and Seahawks offense, whereas the Patriots have lots of underrated receivers that have proven a lot more this year, such as Diggs and Booty. On the Seahawks side, you basically have your main one receiver, Smith-Njigba, and if the Patriots can shut him down, then the Seahawks might struggle a little bit, and we might have an even closer game. But for the Patriots side, this Seattle defense, the number 1 defense in the league, will have to shut down all of their receivers, which proves a very hard struggle for them to overcome, but they are definitely worthy of it since they are the number 1 defense in the league. But Patriots, with their strong quarterback Drake May, they can make this work, and Sam Darnold as well.
And then moving on to defensive schemes, we got the Seahawks' very strong defense, and on the other side, we got a very strong Patriots defense. Obviously, this could be a very strong defensive game, but both teams also have high-powered offenses, so this could go either way. And I'm hoping it's just a good all-around game, as last year's was kind of a blowout to Philly, who obviously was the better team. We've seen Seattle's D-line just pressure the quarterback constantly, and as we know, Drake May has been sacked 5 times in the postseason. He's honestly rushed for more yards than I can count. I think it's around 129, which is insane. Hopefully the Seahawks will be able to contain him in the pocket. As for the Patriots, Sam Darnold doesn't run a lot, but when he does, it is meaningful, and he always gets a first down out of it. They will need to contain him in the pocket as well, but at the same time, Sam Darnold is calm and composed and can throw it down the field quite easily. As predictions go for this game, it's obviously a very close matchup from the looks of it. Obviously, you got 23-20, 27-10, and 23-20. Obviously, some of those, like 27-10, I don't know if that'll happen or not. It's just depending if one team shows up and the other doesn't. Your 2 X factors for this game, as in terms of the game, would be Drake May and Sam Darnold. And obviously, as we know, the halftime show will be performed by Bad Bunny, a promising young artist, and the Super Bowl promises high stakes, emotional narratives, and a chance for history, especially for the Patriots, who are aiming for their 7th Super Bowl victory, and also if they lose, it will be the most Super Bowl losses in history. This matchup features the 2 teams that are the best, and we will see who comes out on top. Thank you for joining us this week. Comment what we should do in the future, and we'll let you know about all the off-season updates in the future. Thank you for joining us, and see you all next time.